All right. Yeah. Thank you so much again, Tloche, for your second question. Question three. By the way, you can also do what Tloche did. Go to my Facebook page, ask me a question, post it on that chat, and then I'll respond with a video. Or go to my TikTok channel, or go to my YouTube channel and do the same. And in this video, we'll be answering question three. And question three, asked by Tloche, looks like this. It's a very complicated question, very advanced quadratic sequence question. So pay attention, and I love this type of questions. So please keep them coming. I want the toughest questions. I want them all. Give me all the toughest questions. Oh, sorry. Why am I banging the table? Whew. All right. Yeah, let's go. Question 3.1. First thing first, let's understand what they talking about. Quadratic sequence has the following properties. The second difference is 10. The first two terms are equal to T1 and T2. And these first three terms are equal to 28. Show that the general sequence is equal to this. Great. Okay, great. So, okay, yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot to consume. So, what we need to remember is this. If you have T1, T2, T3, T4, and you are told this is a quadratic sequence, so you have what you call the first term or the first difference. The first difference is just T2 minus T2 minus T1. That's the first difference. So it's still the same thing. T3, T4 minus T3. And the second difference will be T3 minus T2 minus T2 minus T1. And you do the same thing with this one. I don't have to do that, but you say T4 minus T3. I said I won't do it, but why am I doing it? Anyway, so that's how you do it. First, second difference, right? And what you need to remember is this, that T1 is equal to A plus B plus C. Okay, T1 is equal to A plus B plus C. You need to remember that. You need to remember that T1 is equal to A plus B, A plus B plus C. That's T1. And you need to remember that this here is equal to 3A plus B. 3A plus B. That's not right. 3A plus B. And you need to remember also this here is equal to 2A. The second difference, not the whole thing. The second difference. The first term of the second difference is equal to 2A. The first term of the first difference is equal to 3A plus B. The first term is equal to A plus B plus C. Okay, so you need to remember this information. Right, let's go back to the question. What they told us. They told us the second difference is equal to 10. So the second difference again is this thing here. Is equal to 10. So that means 2A is equal to 10. So therefore, 2A is equal to 10. Then we can find A. So divide by 2. Therefore, A is equal to 5. Boom. Okay. We're in the right track. Now let's find B. Let's find B. What do we know? So if you look at 3A plus B is equal to T2 minus T1. And we know that T1 and T2 are equal. So T2 minus T1 is actually just saying T2 minus T2. This is T2 minus T2, which is equal to 0. So 3A plus B is equal to 0. And we know A is 5. So 3 times 5 is 15 plus B. Therefore, B is equal to take that 15 to the right hand side, become negative 15. So B is equal to negative 15. Okay. Right track. Let's find C now, right? So if A plus B plus C is equal to T1. Now we need to find T1 because now we know A is 5. We know B is minus 15. But we don't know C, we don't know T1. But what do we know about T1? We know T1 is equal to T2. And we know T1 plus T2 plus T3 is equal to 28. So we know T1 plus T2 plus T3 is equal to 28. Which essentially is equal to T2 plus T2 plus T3 is equal to 28. This is equal to T2 plus T3 is equal to 28. Again, we know this information. But there's something else that we can figure out as well is if we come back here, we know that we have 22a is equal to t3 minus t2, which is minus t2 plus t1, right? If I say this times that, t2 plus t1. Let me know if you don't understand that. And 28, 2a is essentially what, 10, right? That's been given, or you can find it here. A times 2 is 10, so this is 2. 3 minus t2 minus t2 minus t2, there's minus what, minus t2, and by the way this is t2 as well, so this is equal to t3 minus t2, right? So if you have this first equation, you have this second equation. I mean, you can find the third equation and make it a simultaneous equation and solve for t2, right? So how do you do this? Let's just take second equation, make t the subject of formula, so t3 will be equal to what? 10 plus t2. So that's the third equation. So if you make t3 a subject formula, take the t2 to the left hand side, become positive, and t3 is equal to 10 plus t2. So then we can substitute this equation to t1. That's what we can do. You can substitute that, so you end up with t2. Where there's t3, we put 10 plus t2. Great, now we can solve for t2. So t2 plus t2, 2t2 plus t2 is equal to 3t2 plus 10 is equal to 28. 28 minus 10, that is 18, so 3t2 is equal to 18. And now divide by 3 on both sides. 3 times 6 is 18, yeah, right? So t2 is equal to 6. Now t2 is equal to 6, which is equal to t1, and that's what we were looking for all this time. So t1 is equal to 6, and we're coming back again to this. Here we're solving for c, by the way. So you have 5 minus 15 is minus 10 plus c. t1 is 6. Great, now c is equal to 6 plus 10, which is equal to 16. So now we have c, we have b, we have a. Then we can write the general term of this equation, which is an squared plus bn plus c. And a is 5, so 5n squared. B is minus 15. And c is equal to 16. And this is exactly that. Boom! I like this question. I love it. Love it. Right, let's go to 3.2. If you don't understand what we did here, let me know. I'm happy to do the magic and answer the questions. Let's go to 3.2. Now the question is very nice. Is 216 a term in the sequencing? Right. They're asking you is 216 a term in the sequence. So we can write that. And they're asking is do we have this in the sequence? Tn is equal to 216. Do we? So we know that Tn is what? 5n squared minus 15n plus 16, 216. Do we have something like this? That's the question. I want us to simplify using necessary calculations. So they don't want us to write it down with English. They want us to write down with mathematics. So we'll show to them how to do this. So this is 5n squared minus 15n. If you take 216 to the left hand side, become minus 216. It's equal to 0. So this is 15n. 16 minus 216 is minus 200. Okay. And now, do you remember the quadratic formula? The quadratic formula says n can be x, copy n. N is equal to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. If you remember this formula, tap yes. I remember this formula. Okay. Now, what you need to know about this formula only holds. This formula is true if b squared minus 4ac is greater or equal to 0. Because if it's negative, you are gonna end up with like -1 or negative a number, and the square root of a negative number is not defined in our context and what we know. But I mean, if you go further with mathematics, you know that square root of -1 is defined somewhere else. But for now, without confusion, it's not defined. So b squared minus 4ac should be always greater than 0 or equal to 0. If it's not, therefore it doesn't hold. So with that information in mind, if we can prove that this is greater or equal to 0, therefore we can say, okay, cool, we do have a term which is 216. If this is less than 0, therefore we don't have a term. If it's greater than or equal to 0, we do. If it's less than 0, we don't have a term. Okay, so how do we do this? So we know b is what? -15. So we know -15 squared minus 4 times a is 5 times c is -200. Now punch this in your calculator and tell me what do you get. Let me just get my calculator. Ah, man, this calculator all the time. All right, great. So let's say 15 squared minus 4 times 5 times -200. I'm getting a positive number. It's a very positive number. It's greater than 0. So therefore we can say by this, therefore this is positive, therefore we do have a 216 term. We do have a 216 term in this sequence. We do have it. Boom. That's your answer. That's your final answer. I mean, I'll give you mark for, let me see, I'll give you mark for the answer that you do, give you mark for understanding this, and I give you mark for having this. So yeah, that's your answer. But I want you now to find n for me. From here, find n. Okay? From here, find n. I've given you the start. I want you to find n where the term is 216. What is that n? What is that n? And I'll tell you this. The answer is 8. That's your answer. If you got the answer is 8, please type 8. If you didn't get the answer or you don't know how to do it, type not 8 on your comment. Type 8 if you get it, type not 8 if you don't get it. And then I'll see how many people have typed 8 or not 8. And then if it's a lot of not 8, and I'll do a video just to finish this question. But if it's most of you guys understand how to get the answer 8, I'm happy for you guys. And thank you so much. See you on next video. If you have a question, feel free to post it and let me know. Text me on my Facebook page, text me on my TikTok account, text me on YouTube. Give me your question and then I'll create a video for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Boom.